What's going on, guys? My name is Kevin Griffith, and this is the Holler Barbecue. So the summertime's coming, so I want to show you how I do ribs. And if you were coming over to my house, this is the ones you would get. So sit right there, and let's get to cooking. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hey guys, so barbecue season is among us. For some of us, like me, it never stops. I know a lot of you too, it never stops. But for some people, depending on their weather, they kind of have a season for barbecue. So I thought I would just do a rib recipe for you today. And now this is the ribs. If you were coming over to my house for a barbecue, this is the way you would get them. Now for me, I like to get the St. Louis cut ribs when I can find them. And all that is, it's just a spare ribs, and they're kind of squared up so that round chunk up top is taken off. For me, it's just, that's the way I'm gonna cut them anyway, so if I can find them, that's what I get. Now these particular ones I got from Wild Fork Foods, so this is actually gonna be a test for me. I haven't had these ones yet from there. So Wild Fork, I think I've mentioned in another video before, it's an online service where you can get stuff brought in, and you can sign up for a subscription service where you pay them, it's like 28 or 29 bucks a year, and you get free shipping if you're close enough to them. Me, unfortunately, I found out I wasn't close enough, so I still have to pay the shipping, which is, I think, is about 35 bucks for your order, no matter how big the order, which that's okay too. But, the prices, so this one, see if you can see it, I'm not sure. So it came out to $11.81, so $3.21, or $3.28 a pound. 3.6 pound. So $11.61, no, $11.81 for a rack of ribs. Not too bad, especially when you're having it shipped directly to your door. And they advertise that this is aged pork for a minimum 8 days. I don't know if that's going to do anything. We'll find out. Now for getting them ready, these actually look pretty good. Now on the thinner side, they always kind of leave you with like some small bones here. Me personally, I like to kind of square them up. And about right in here is where I'm wanting to do that at. Only because this little piece of meat right here kind of hangs down, and it's so thin that it will kind of, it'll burn on you if you're not careful. So I just want to not worry about it. You can take that, put it in by itself if you wanted to actually cook it, which I might get a hook. So we're going to do it on the pit barrel today, so I might just hook it, and that way I'm a long way from the fire on this one. Yeah, these ribs actually look pretty good. Now on this end, with this fat chunk right here, I'm just going to try to trim this up. I know I'm cutting it towards myself. I'm not gonna cut myself, not today. Just getting a little bit of that. See, it's just a little thin piece of meat behind a pretty good chunk of fat. So I just wanted to get that off. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is I am going to remove the membrane from this rack. You've probably seen many videos on this. I find it easier to just get a butter knife and just kind of go up under it. The membrane, you can start seeing it where it'll pull up. Make me some little grip holes, that's what I'd say. And once you get it kind of peeled back a little bit, sometimes the one side's a little bit thin. So the seasoning I'm gonna use today is Mississippi Grind. This is from a guy in Mississippi. You know, I'm from Mississippi too. That's not why I get it. I just really like it. It's from a barbecue team called Swine. They do really good in competitions. I tried this a few years ago, and I just like the stuff. I find it on Amazon. I'll put a link below if you're interested in checking that stuff out. It's a sweet and salty mixture, great on ribs. I put it on brisket before. It's actually really good too. I like to get it on there and then just kind of press it in. Not sure if this does anything. It's just the way I've always done it. And I like to get this on kind of about right before I'm doing my fire, or right as soon as I get my fire done. That way this is sitting up for about, 15, 20 minutes before I actually get it on there. And that's all we do to get these things ready. All right, so I am using pit barrel today to cook. As far as temperatures go, pit barrel cooks a little bit hotter than what most people are used to cooking. It's around 275 average. If I was cooking on my pellet grill, I'd do the same thing, because I've had them both ways, cook long time, cook shorter time. There's not that much difference, and I'd rather cook it quicker if I can. So this is gonna be about a 3.5 hour cook on average is what we normally do. So on pit barrel, you hang your meat most of the time. And what I like to do is I'll come around past the second bone, and that's where I go in at. And then hang it from that way. And then this little one here, I'm just gonna get the hook in there. We'll see if it'll hang on or not. And as far as wood goes, as you can see here, I don't have a whole lot of wood. I actually never use a whole ton of wood in the pit barrel, at least. So this is enough right here. And I like a combination of pecan and hickory. I wasn't looking at my wood situation, so I don't have much hickory, so just a little few chunks of hickory and pecan. So it's time to get these things on. So I did just temp the barrel, sitting at about 280 degrees, which is good. It'll calm down a little bit. We'll actually go a little bit less than that. Like I said, this is a 3.5 hour cook-ish. And I trust the barrel so much that I'm not gonna open that thing up for 3 hours. That's when I'll bring you back. So we'll come back in 3 hours. Now what I will do about every hour or so is I just come out and take my where are you at? Take my meat thermometer, and I just stick it in the barrel in one of those holes right there and just see where my temp is. Now, if I'm above that 275, I don't do anything. If I'm dropping below too much, let's say I come out here and it's 250, then I'll crack the lid just a little bit. I don't take it off, just a little bit of crack, bring the temperature up, then I'm good to go for another hour or so, check it again. But if I stay above that 275, I don't do anything, just keep it closed. So I'll see you in about 3 hours. All right, guys, welcome back. It has been 3 hours. The pit barrel's been holding like a champ. I check it, it's 375 or 275, 280 every time. I never having to crack the lid or nothing, so it's been holding like a champ. So let's go ahead and get these things out. So it's been 3 hours. Let's go ahead and get them out and check them out and see where they are. First, here's our little one. Now I'm putting the lid back on the barrel so that we don't go too high. Now look at these things. Color's looking great. We're getting good pullback. Now let me flip them over real quick, because the way I test them out is how close they are to getting done is just find you a bone that you can see real good, and then start, see how, I don't know if I can see, you can see it here. See how it's wanting to come out? That tells me we're pretty good. We're getting where we want to be. So for my barbecue sauce, I'm just going with Original Kinder's. It's a good sauce. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It's not too thick and heavy. It'll set pretty good. Tell you what, they smell fantastic. All right, guys, I'm gonna get these back on, and I'm gonna probably only go for about 20 more minutes, and then we'll call it a day. All right, guys, it's been about 20 minutes. So let me tell you something I did. So once we sauced it up and I put it back in the barrel, you know, I set a timer for 20 minutes. Now after about 10, I went ahead and took the lid off and got the fire cranking on this thing. Left it kind of, lid kind of cracked open. I did that so I could raise the temperature up so I could start kind of boiling this sauce. That helps it really set in. I did that for only about 10 minutes. So on my barrel, it usually starts burning. You can see the coals kind of going one way. One side, or there will be a spot where the coals aren't anymore, and that's where I put the ribs at, is where the fire's not gonna be, and then get everything else super hot. You can see these suckers look fantastic right now. Let me get the little one out. I have about a half basket of charcoal left. It'd be a good time to, if you had some sausage or something else you wanted to throw in there. Let me see if I can get these hooks out without making a mess here. And without ripping them. There we go. I didn't bring anything for me to grab these things with either. Let me just flip it over with this hook. All right, guys, I had to go in and get me some tongs before we get to cutting these things up. So I did pull these off, took those hooks out. They've been sitting around 5 minutes now. Now when I cut mine, I like to cut from the side the bones are. That way I can see, get in there really good. And let's tear into one of these real quick and let's see what we got. Oh, this is my meat sword. These are definitely some meaty ones right here. Make sure, ow, it's hot. Just make sure you can see it really good. I might have to let that cool off just a second before I take a bite of it. Before I take a bite, let's just go ahead and cut all these up. All right, they're all cut up. Let's go ahead and try one of these things. Take a look at it. This dude's pretty meaty. So clean bite, came straight away from the bone. This is the way I like them. Like I said, if you come to my house for a barbecue, this is the way I'm gonna try to do them. I'll do them sometimes where they fall completely apart. They're just harder to handle, like when you, because I like to add, you know, at the end, a little bit more char to them. And when they fall apart, when you sauce them, it's hard to do that. That's exactly the way I like them. And they are super good. This wild fork meat is pretty tasty. I'll put Wild Fork's information down below in case you want to check them out. Good place to get meat, especially if you're trying to find stuff like brisket, beef ribs, tri-tip. You can get it anywhere in the country. All right, guys, that's it for this 3-hour, 20-minute rib cook. As always, you got any questions or comments, go ahead and put them below. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And always, holler back.